England. In the past, the kids, most of the class would go to Ocean City. And they would get, you know, a 3-day weekend. They would get, you know, a couple of, I know that most of the kids couldn't spend more than $5 on lunch. And they had to go to McDonald's while the principal ate lobster tail. My question is, when they went to England and only 5 students could afford to go, but about 12 staff members went, didn't that raise some red flags somewhere?
And it's not a senior trip.
And you had to be invited.
He's not going to answer that. He's stonewalling her.
Do you have an idea of when the investigation?
She should have repeated the question.
Will be completed? Do you have a target date that you're looking at for when this is going to be completed?
I do not. I mean, I wish I could, but again, the state's attorney's office is just beginning to do their investigation. I know they want to move quickly, but it really depends on what they find, what they don't find, what other information they're looking for. But I think they're committed to moving it along as quickly as possible.
Good evening. My name is Alan Palacios, and I am a mother of a student here at the school. And I just want to put out there more so of a comment than anything else. How we came to our parents, it took me a while to find this program. Very encouraged and very happy at the way that my son has received his education. Now, one of the things I would like to share with you is that my son, because he is higher functioning, we talk about everything. So he had an input in this, and he's currently on vacation, but I did share with him that I was coming this evening. And what he wanted to say was that he really wanted me to communicate to you or whoever the representative is going to be this evening, was that he has been taught everything good, but then yet still to see others go through this or have this happen to his fellow classmates. It was very disheartening to him. I think that the anger that you were probably receiving and the confusion and all of the things that are going on now is because there's been a huge breach of trust. The transparency that has happened and occurred basically at this point is non-existent. Just a small incident which has been accumulating over the years because I, just like the other woman here, read about the audits that had happened, the flags that were thrown, and in part we can try to point fingers and blame, but then the larger picture is that the funding and the finance, because if there were appropriate measures, whatever money is involved, we should have a dedicated office for that, with dedicated personnel, even if it costs extra to have those positions or offices inside of the school. There's no way, and I think it's unacceptable to say that your administrative assistant can look over the books as she takes care of everyday functions. So I really can't delve too much into what's happening because I, like many here in this room, I found out this from an automatic phone call, very impersonal, at 7:30 in the evening, saying, well, you may have heard. And then from there, to an email. So I just wanted to let you know that faith is shook in my house. I was going to do the extreme and pull my child out of this program too. But then I am choosing to be optimistic, and I'm choosing to wait to see what the outcome is because I don't want this child to be affected. I would think about other children in this program. We've got an exceptional staff here. There's nothing that I can say bad about anybody, be it your brother. I had to fight tooth and nail to have this child come to this school. So I'm going to let you know that for tonight and from me, I'm going to support you and everything that you're saying, but I want to hope, and I would like to put out there that don't take that. Don't use it, and everything that you're saying here, be very clear and very honest, because what's going to happen if there's even one only us, these enraged parents that have had this happen to their child, and also I, will be back, and it's going to be very different.
That's right.
So I just really want to tell you how I feel, and from my son to everybody in here, he feels as though that there's something here that as adults, we should all learn from this. And that is what trust and integrity really, really and truly should mean. We cannot educate our children to be truthful individuals, and that we are preparing them to this world when we are, in turn, taking from them. It doesn't work that way.
Amen.
Thank you, and thank you, son.
Has Diane Thornton been fully cooperative with the investigation?
I'm sorry.
Has Diane Thornton been fully cooperative with the investigation?
Has Diane Thornton been fully cooperative with the investigation?
Yes, she was.
Was she an attorney?
I cannot answer that question. I do have to say that the staff of the school, were very, very cooperative. All the staff of the school were cooperative in the investigation as we proceeded through all the parts. So that certainly was helpful in what we did.
Okay, Mrs. Bowers, you mentioned earlier that the audit reports are done, the audits and the audit reports are done about every 18 months, maybe every 2 years. But you also said that you haven't actually seen the audit for this school. Now, those audit reports are published with some delay. One is in the obscure place, I think it's obscure on the NCTS website. I've read every one of those audit reports actually for every school in NCTS. I'm just an ordinary citizen. I want to know why you haven't read the audit report for this school.
I don't think I said I didn't read it. I mean, I probably read the audit reports when they come out. I read them whenever they come out. I just don't remember what was in it, the last report that I saw. So I can't tell you. I mean, we probably have 100 audit reports every year that I receive, and I don't. So I can't tell you what's in one of those audit reports.
Even with this ongoing investigation, I would have thought that you would have reviewed that audit report for this school, especially since there had been a reference to it in the newspaper. You would have reviewed it sometime in the last several weeks or month or so. So since you haven't, or since you don't remember it, I would urge you to go and read it again.
Hi. I need to repeat the same question, but I just want to follow up about when you say that all the staff are very cooperative, and I still don't understand when you say that the money was not used for any other thing. For my son, before he graduated, 240 was getting out just before the school year, and then another 340 taken out from his account. So I don't understand what the money is used for. And you said that if everyone cooperates, they should be able to explain to you what the money is used for. And I may be able to understand it, but I still don't get any answer for this. And I did give everything to the auditor, and nobody ever contacted me about that. And I learned about this through the internet. So I am really sad because it just made me feel that my son graduated from a very good school, but when I learned about all these things after he graduated, it really heartbroken because he loved the school. And I still say that the staff is good, the school is good, but something like this is all behind my back. It's just like the broken glass, but anyway, we are out of MCTS, but I still want the answer. And I just hope that in the future I will be contacted, just to explain this, even for our case, like what really happened.
Part of the findings of the investigation was the fact that we couldn't track how those dollars were actually used, what programs, how they were spent. So we weren't able to find those records in the audit.
But then we cannot say that they are cooperative because somebody must know something. Whether whoever take the money out from the bank for 340 in cash. I mean, somebody who take, I think teacher or whoever. I'm not saying that they take the money, but I just want an explanation. Whether they use it for maybe the graduation party or for the prom, but I need to spend the money for all this.
We all pay for every
And
item.
as I indicated, part of this is an ongoing investigation.
So they are not very cooperative there because we could not get the answer.
names, but is he going to release the investigative report?
Right? So I really hope that we will try to do more. I'm not here to attack anyone, but I just want to really get something that clearer than whatever been telling us, like nothing found that this was wrong or anything like that. Definitely something's not right, especially the W2 that we never received, which I think that it's legally it's wrong. It's a federal crime, I think.
Yeah. It's a confidential file.
The confidential file has all our children's records in it. After they leave the school, from what I remember, after having to go to court with MCPS at one time, these records are kept like 5 years after the child leaves, maybe 7. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Until they're 25.
Till they're 25. So you could actually go back to those confidential files because you know what schools that they attended.
Right.
And pull those students' addresses and notify all the parents, correct?
Has that been done?
You know, I indicated earlier when the question was raised that we need to look at those students who left the program and see how we go about contacting them.
Well, that's why I was just mentioning that would be a way we could do that, correct?
My question is, why was Dr. Gordon put on administration leave, and are you holding her responsible? Why was Dr. Gordon put on administrative leave, and are you holding her responsible?
Again, I can't get involved in personnel issues, but obviously, when we do investigations, we do put individuals on administrative leave while the investigation is going on, so we can make sure that the investigation is not unusual for that to happen.
So there's no one's taking responsibility, and the MCPS isn't saying really much of anything, it just randomly happened, there's not anybody who's responsible for why there wasn't a business manager in all this, or, I mean, it was my understanding that the principal is the one who runs the school.
Just saying, if there is any personnel action that we should have, so I'm not, if anything has happened, I'm not sure. I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then, as I indicated, we're going to stay around for individuals who want to share information with us, to give us personal information, personal records, or anything that we can share. A couple more.
I was wondering why Dr. Bliss wasn't given privilege to be the principal, the acting principal. She's been here for several years, knows the kids. You have throughout the year seen some changes with the administration here. I'm curious, can you answer why was
I made a decision to bring Ms. Matora in as the acting principal. She's extremely well qualified and will do a great job. That's not a statement about Dr. Quist. She, as I said earlier, we're extremely appreciative of her work and the hard work she's done here on behalf of the students and staff and community here at Rock Terrace. But I made the decision to bring in Ms. Matora as the acting principal for this year. Until we go through the process, we'll be able to get characteristics from parents and from staff that see the next principal. Also, while I'm up here, if I could just very quickly, because we've sort of heard that some of the lists that we're using obviously are not accurate and complete. So just, and obviously you can see us at the end and we'll get you also, but I just want to let also for anyone else, you could use an email address if you wanted to email us, and we will add you to the list. We'll also get that from tonight, but also if you know someone else or which is PIO@ncpsnz.org. Again, PIO stands for Public Information Office @ncpsnz.org. We are also going to, we've gone through a lot of records to accumulate a list to be sent out in regard to this appeal, and a lot of graduated students also, but obviously it's not complete, so we will, get some of you tonight to share with us and get you included. Obviously, our goal is to, we haven't done very well leading up to this meeting, but to get your email addresses and phone numbers so we can keep you involved with this as it moves forward.
The EIO or PIO?
P is in Paul.
PIO.
@ncpsmd.org. That's just, I just put that out there. If there's someone here who, that's one option. We're also going to try to obviously use other avenues, like you suggested, to get some information.
My name is Carlos Becerra, and I have a son who's 2 years old. He's nonverbal. When he comes home, I cannot ask him how was your day, why are you frustrated, why are you angry. When he doesn't want to go to school in the morning, I cannot ask him, why don't you want to go. So I completely rely on the school staff and people, teachers, to give me feedback. At this time, the policies and procedures that were broken and caused this financial problem was not only a financial problem, it also extended into other aspects of running the school. I'm talking about IP goals, following on them, giving feedback to the parents, and following up on the recommendation and ideas. My wife mentioned about trust and broken trust and integrity of the school. Other members also mentioned that. The problem you have in your hands goes far beyond financial problem. The problem is that people here are really having such a thought about how can they trust the school system. When I talk about staff, I apologize to those staff who really didn't work hard during the last year. I was only mentioning everybody. But I'm talking to the staff that systematically turned a blind eye on the things that they saw was going wrong at school. I participated in IT meetings. I think I was about 6, 7 years old. For the first time, last year I was in IT meeting. There were 2 people in that. Only 2 people after waiting weeks were setting it up. None of them were teachers. And these 2 people were like zombies. And they were just looking there, smiling, staring into the future. I don't know what was people were thinking about. And I'm desperately sitting there. I know something's wrong. Things are not working. I asked them, let us help you, tell us what's going on. I need your feedback. They just get quiet completely. And I found it very insulting. And as my wife mentioned, we make papers not out of school, we don't trust them anymore. And you should not trust them either. Whoever we're going to come to school to fix this problem has far more problems than just financial aspects. What are you going to do about it? Thank you.
Well, again, I don't disagree that we have a lot of work to do, and we do have to rebuild trust. We don't want to lose any of our students, any of our children, and so I think we're going to have to work together with the new leadership at the school, with the teachers, and with central services to make sure that we are listening to the parents, that we are recognizing what the issues are, and that we're able to address some of the concerns that you raised. I mean, I think this is a difficult situation, but we have this responsibility in many other places to make sure that situations that we have, children that are struggling, that we put in place opportunities for parents and staff and school system to work together to ensure that we're doing whatever we need to so that there is the trust, so that the program support is there, and so we're doing whatever we can for our children. I do appreciate you coming out tonight and sharing these concerns, sharing your feelings. I know that it is a terrible financial situation that we've come across, but again, we are committed to working together to figure out what we can do to have a complete investigation and get all the information and records we need to bring that investigation systems and put some processes in place to make sure it doesn't happen in the future. And as you just indicated, figure out how we're going to work together with all the parents and the staff and the students to build that trust so that these feelings aren't there and that we do have our students who feel good about coming to the school. We have parents who feel good about sending their children to the school, and then the staff who is committed to working with the students feel that they are being supported in their work. So again, we are going to, we will be here for individual questions or information that you want to share with us. I want to thank you for coming tonight, but indicate that this isn't the end. That we're going to continue to work. Dr. Karen was going to continue to work with the leadership team here. The leadership team will continue to work with parents to build the kind of school culture that is important for all our students to be successful. So thank you very much.